The sole purpose of this video is to provide a basic overview and orientation of your new apparatus. This video is not intended to act as or replace individualized driver-operator training. Individual fire departments may base guidelines, policies, and procedures tailored for best practices. Pierce Manufacturing and Hughes Fire Equipment representatives are not liable for injuries caused from acts resulting from actions inconsistent with the information provided within this video and/or accompanying manuals. Refer to the Operation and Maintenance Manual for complete details relating to the components and features of this apparatus. Only trained personnel should operate this vehicle or perform maintenance. You are responsible for learning how to operate this fire apparatus under all conditions without having to refer to the manual while operating at an emergency incident. This video will discuss types of warnings and caution labels. It is your responsibility to locate and identify each of the labels and understand the importance and associated hazards. Warning labels will point out procedure that must be taken or action that must be avoided to guard against the possibility of serious injury or death. Caution labels will advise you that there is a risk of damage to property if certain precautions are not followed. Continuous training, reviewing of operation and service manuals, developing good standardized practices will assist driver operators with a more complete understanding of the components and operation of this fire apparatus. As the driver operator of this vehicle, you are responsible for understanding the function of each component of the apparatus, maintaining control of the fire apparatus at all times while in operation, make operational and functional changes while operating at an emergency without having to read operator's instructions or safety warning labels, operate manual override and emergency shutdown procedures immediately if a component fails to operate properly. Components location may vary with each Pierce fire apparatus. Review the exact location of each component prior to operation. Major inconsistencies between your vehicle and the information contained in this video should be directed to your sales representative. Safe operation of any vehicle is the responsibility of the driver operator. You must learn the location and function of all controls, switches, gauges, valves, inlets, and discharges. Due to a higher center of gravity, heavy trucks have a significantly higher rollover tendency than other types of vehicles. To reduce the risk of rollover, avoid making sharp turns, excessive speed, and avoid abrupt maneuvers. In the event of a rollover crash, an unbelted person is significantly more likely to become injured or die than a person wearing a seatbelt. In the event of a crash, unbuckled occupants can also become a hazard to other occupants as they may be thrown around inside the cab. Seatbelts are required while in operation. Please refer to your warranty certificates for details and information enclosed in your manuals. Customer-installed equipment must be mounted to withstand road travel and comply with NFPA 1901. Modifications such as drilling holes or welding to structural frame components of the chassis are not permitted. Contact Pierce for instruction and review of non-structural sheet metal or other dissimilar metals for modification. Follow the radio installation guide for further assistance on installing or mounting electronics. Before placing your new apparatus into service, perform a primary inspection of key components of the apparatus, including all fluid levels, anti-lock braking systems, electronic stability control, and automatic traction control. Weigh your apparatus to ensure that it conforms to axle and brake ratings. Never exceed the gross axle rating printed on the label inside the cab. Exceeding these ratings could lead to reduced component life, personal injury, or death. Review the use of auxiliary braking systems, compression brake, exhaust brake, electronic retarder, and hydraulic retarder. Before placing the apparatus in service, refer to the operational maintenance manuals. Information on the operation and maintenance functions for the components such as the pump, pressure governor, and foam systems, along with other options, is provided in either the Pierce manuals and/or other manufacturer support information delivered with the apparatus. If you need more information, please contact Hughes Fire Equipment. Congratulations, Keizer Fire District, on your new apparatus, job number 30928. Please utilize this job number when referencing this vehicle with Hughes Fire Equipment. Let's get started on a brief orientation of this new apparatus. Starting down at the very front bumper, you'll find this red cap. This is access for electrical power, 12 volt for your front winch. This is the connection point or attachment point for that front winch. Let's take another close-up look at this area. Once again, behind the red cap here, this is your access point that plugs in for power for the winch. Moving to the right is the standard 2x2 hitch. Moving just up from that location, you'll find your 2 electronic sirens. Generalized view here of the front of your apparatus. You'll find 2 tow hooks located in the very front, right and left. In addition, with on the right and left is in the grille, emergency warning light. And moving to the right and left, this is your headlight cluster for low, high beam, and turn indicator. Generalized view here, or close-up of that emergency warning light forward facing. There are also emergency warning lights on each side near the front right and turn signal. On the door is located the squad number 359. Generalized view of the passenger side of the vehicle starting at the front. And then we'll take a look at the other side. This is going to be a Ford F550. As you can see also in the center, your logo. Just underneath that on the running boards, there are perimeter lights just under the running board. And just up on top here, there are also additional perimeter lights. Generalized view of your front aluminum wheels in addition with tires. As we move inside the cab, we'll talk a little bit about some of the components there. First, let's start just inside the cab on the left door hand. This is going to be your Pierce label regarding the manufacturer date, November of 2017. There's also an additional location for the job number. Moving down from that location, you'll find your gross vehicle weight ratings in addition with tire information, rim information, and also cold tire inflation pressures. Moving down at the very bottom of this plaque, you'll find your VIN number. And then moving all the way up to the very left side, you'll find the fluid capacities associated with this vehicle, the fluid capacity, the device for it, and also the fluid type. Let's go back down. This is going to be just on the entry point on the left-hand side, driver's side. This is the location of your master battery switch. Generalized view here of the inside of your cab with the center console, but let's look overhead of the operator's position. You'll find some cab lights in addition with a cluster of approximately 5 to 6 switches, and you'll find these are programmable auxiliary switches. Just to the very top section of the front of your cab, just above the climate control and radio section, you'll find your warning or hazard lights, and you'll find this gear shifter regarding for your 4-wheel drive access. Moving just onto the main console, you'll find your battery light, okay to engage the high idle. Do not move the truck, there may be a door open, or you have low voltage. Those are all red warning lights. Just beneath that, you'll have your traffic advisor that's located on the rear of your apparatus. And beneath that, this is your siren, in addition with your PA system. This is your electronic siren. Just beneath those section there in front of the dash area, you'll find 2 accesses for 12 volt. You'll also find on the dash to the right-hand side center console, this is a placard indicating your height, length, and gross vehicle weight rating. In addition, it has your job number also located on this placard. Let's talk a little bit about some of the cluster of switches in this location. Starting at the very top, this is your emergency master. Moving just inward of that is your roof light, front warning, side warning, lower rear warning, and upper rear warning. All of these are rocker switches. Let's move down to the next set of switches. This is going to be the selection switch for siren or horn. These are the perimeter lights located underneath the rear and sides of your apparatus. These are going to be the rear scene, left scene, and also right scene. And on the very far right-hand side, this is the opticom located in the light bar area. Down on the console on the very far right, you'll find two audible alarms. And at the very bottom, this is your diagnostic port in gray. This is your air indicator for your air filter pressure inside the engine. You have additional map book storage or pre-pan storage in this location. Just to the rear of that section, you'll find the back half of this console, and then you'll find additional back seats to right and left with a center space between the two. Located also near the rear seats, you'll find the shoreline output, which is a 20 amp outlet. Generalized view of the passenger side of the vehicle. Let's take a look into the driver's side rear section. We'll talk about this yellow coiled cord here in just a few moments. Generalized view of the side of your apparatus. Let's start in the lower left-hand corner. This is going to be your shoreline inlet. This is once again a 20 amp shoreline power. It is also an auto eject. Let's move to the next compartment back. This roll-up compartment door houses some equipment, but first let's take a look up at the very top. You have a side scene light and an emergency light. Let's move back all the way down to the very bottom here. There is also a silver plate door here. This is an additional storage location just in front of the rear tire. Let's look inside that first roll-up compartment. You have a top-mounted shelf, and at the very top there is a roll-out shelf, which I have an additional picture at a later point. But look at the very bottom of this shelf, you'll find this attachment point. This is an electrical attachment point for your controller for the Welbert mast light. This is the mast that's located on the top of your vehicle. It is the night scan. Let's go ahead and take a look at the midsection here. This is the roll-up compartment just over the rear tire on the driver's side. Once this compartment door is open, you'll find you have a rollout compartment shelf in this location, and just above you have additional storage, specialized components for storage in the very top. These are also adjustable. They're on a rail system with inside, and just beneath that you'll find your dual axle rear or single axle dual tires in the very rear. Just above that tire you'll find additional warning light and also your access for your gasoline fuel inlet. Moving back to the very far rear compartment, in this tall compartment, once the door has been accessed, you'll find you have a significant amount of bottle storage in this location, and there are also tether straps for safety. Just above this compartment, you'll find a scene light in addition with a warning light, and in the very rear, a rear side marker light. Generalized view of the rear of your apparatus. Let's break down some of the components here. Let's start at the very bottom underneath the tailboard. This is going to be your license plate light in addition with a rear-facing rear perimeter light. Just also in this location, you'll find there are two 12-volt access points for trailers. And moving inside from that, you'll find the additional red cover. This is for access of your winch if you choose to use it in the rear section in this 2x2 standard hitch configuration. This is a class 3 hitch, which has a maximum tongue weight of 1,000 and a trailer weight of 10,000. Just on the outside, right and left of that location, you have two attachment points also, tow locations that are closed hooks. In this location is your cluster for rear. You have a rear backup, turn, brake, and emergency light. Just up from that, you'll find additional warning labels, and at the very top, emergency light and a rear-facing floodlight. Located in the very center, this is your traffic advisor at the very top. Let's go ahead and keep moving to the right-hand side. You'll find the same configuration on the lower right-hand side for your tail cluster here of lights. Same concept as the opposite side for the lighting on the package in the very rear. In the center compartment, when this door is rolled up, you'll find that you have this pull-out shelf, and you also have adjustable shelving if you choose to at any point in time to add. This is the shelf in its outward position. To move this shelf, there is a right-hand side push lever right on the wheels. Push that back in to restore it back to its normal position. Here's an image of the door closed. Once again, right and left-hand side near the grab handle, there is additional warnings for your safety. Generalized view of the passenger rear section of your apparatus. Let's take a look in the rear compartment. As we open this compartment door, you can see it has illumination within all of the compartments, in addition with 2 adjustable, currently in a fixed position shelves. Middle compartment here, similar to the opposite side, you have the pull-out shelf here, and above a specialized configuration. Let's move just down from this location, just in front of the rear tire. You'll find this chromed access point. Once you've gained access into this, you'll find a stainless steel compartment here. Let's go ahead and move up above this location, or just slightly to the front. You'll find an additional long compartment that's tall in this location, roll-up door. Above this door, you'll find a side-facing and also a side-facing emergency light and floodlight. Let's take a look at the configuration with inside this compartment. Once again, same as the opposite side, pass-through compartment, pull-out shelf on top, adjustable shelf on the bottom. Here's it's displayed in its full outright position. Congratulations on your new apparatus, Keizer Fire District, Oregon, job number 30928. If you have any questions as to the content of this video or any questions, please direct those to your service department or your Hughes Fire sales representative. Thank you and have a nice day.